Radical Craft Arts Education at Hull-House explores the history and legacy of arts education at the country's most influential social settlement. The exhibition showcases Hull-House's rarely exhibited textile collection, handbound books by Ellen Gates Starr's bookbindery, newly restored paintings by Alice Kellogg Tyler, and ceramics from the historic Hull-House Kilns. When Jane Addams, Ellen Gates Starr, and Mary Kaiser moved to the near west side of Chicago in 1889, they brought with them the political and aesthetic principles of the arts and craft movement, which idealized a pre-capitalist world of authentic labor and quality design. In a radical move, they put these ideas into practice for people who lived in the most impoverished industrial neighborhood in the city. They believed that the experience of the arts is fundamental to what it means to be human. At Hull-House, neighbors could take classes in bookbinding, ceramics, metalwork, textiles, and many other arts. These classes served as opportunities to experience the restorative power in the exercise of a genuine craft, in Jane Addams' words. Hull-House promoted the work of many immigrant artisans, including the Irish weaver Honoran Brosnahan, the Danish weaver Susanna Sorensen, the Russian coppersmith Falik Novik, and Mexican ceramicist Jesus Torres. But most of the tens of thousands of people who came to Hull-House did not leave a record. Radical Craft pays homage to the significance of unnamed artisans by displaying their names along the banister and throughout the exhibition. The artist most associated with Hull-House during its first decade is Alice Kellogg Tyler, who taught art classes at the settlement, contributed to exhibitions, and painted key portraits of Hull-House reformers. Known for her technical excellence and a fine attention to figural expression, Alice Kellogg Tyler's painted work that revealed an exceptional interest in the beauty and labor of women.
Radical Craft gives special attention to Hull-House's co-founder Ellen Gates Starr, who operated the Hull-House Bookbindery, which upheld the value of slow craftsmanship in opposition to the quick and cheap operations of commercial printing. A handcrafted binding served as a strong box for treasure, in Starr's words, preserving the book and its ideas for many years to come. Starr and her students intentionally chose books they valued, including many books written by Addams. These books were often gifted from one resident to another, a gesture that recognized value and labor outside of the commercial marketplace. The work of Sappho, the classical Greek poet from the island of Lesbos, who wrote poetry long associated with love between women, may have held special meaning for the residents of Hull-House, where many same-sex relationships flourished. Starr's bookbindery continued to operate as part of an ambitious experiment called the Labor Museum, which included craft demonstrations, cooking lessons, and manual training. The Labor Museum showcased the skills of neighborhood residents, especially the expertise of immigrant women. The word museum signified the value and dignity of craft work. These doilies, blankets, mats, rugs, scarves, and table runners, which are unattributed and undated, were created by the communities surrounding Hull-House in the early 20th century. The Hull-House Kilns opened in 1927, an expansion of the settlement's ceramics program and a commercial venture that allowed artists to make a living from their craft work. Hull-House's ceramics classes were popular with the Mexican community, which was steeped in the traditions of ceramic art. Many artists and educators working in Chicago today can trace a lineage back to Hull-House. Influential teacher and activist Morris Topchevsky painted these three figures of streetcar riders, reflecting an interest in the everyday lives of people on the South Side. Topchevsky took classes with founder of the Hull-House Art School, Anella Benedict, who painted this arched entry into Hull-House, a respite from the busy neighborhood. As educators and institution builders, these and other artists forged the historic intersection of the arts and activism in Chicago, a city that has led the nation in progressive arts education. One of the most powerful legacies of Hull-House is the insistence that education for all people must prioritize the experience and practice of art. Art was never understood as a soft discipline, but rather as a challenge to the conditions of capitalism and an expression of the value and dignity of every human life. Radical Craft extends Hull-House's commitment to access to the arts for all by hosting workshops in ceramics, glassblowing, and textiles throughout the year. Please also visit the new Hull-House books, where we feature the Radical Craft catalog alongside many other books that extend the museum's mission to inspire civic action. Radical Craft is on view until July 25th, 2025.